Buckle up, listeners, because today we are diving headfirst into a mystery that's been bugging, well, pretty much everyone for centuries.
And might I add, this deep dive is a direct response to a very enthusiastic listener request.
That's right, folks. You asked for it. And now we're serving up a heaping plateful of intrigue with the Voynich Manuscript.
A manuscript which just so happens to be a perfect example of a mystery wrapped in an enigma tied with a ribbon of, well, more mystery.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
It's this centuries-old book, maybe even 600 years old we're talking, and it's full of bizarre writing no one can decipher. And the pictures. Don't even get me started on the pictures.
The illustrations are certainly unique, but that's part of what makes this manuscript so captivating. It's like stumbling upon a message in a bottle, except the bottle is from another time, and the message is written in a language that seems to defy understanding.
Okay, so before we get lost in the weeds here, can we back up a bit? For those who haven't had the pleasure of encountering the Voynich Manuscript, let's lay down the basics. What do we actually know about this book?
What we know, well, that's almost as intriguing as what we don't know. We're talking roughly 200 pages of text, all on vellum.
Vellum being.
Oh, right, vellum. It's a type of parchment, very high quality, made from calfskin, not your average paper, which tells us this document was probably quite important to whoever made it.
Makes sense. Someone went through a lot of trouble and probably some baby cows to create this thing. So what else? Early 1400s, you said?
That's the best guess, yes. Based on the illustrations, the handwriting style, it's all very specific to that era.
So not exactly a fresh off the printing press kind of deal. And how did this centuries-old mystery end up at Yale?
The journey. It changed hands many times, as you can imagine. Early 1900s, a Polish book dealer got his hands on it. And then fast forward a few decades, it's donated to Yale in the 1960s.
From a Polish book dealer to Yale, that's quite the glow up. Though I guess if you're a 600-year-old book, Yale's probably the place to be.
Their Benecke Library is famous, right?
One of the best for rare books and manuscripts, so it's in good hands. And importantly, it's accessible. Yale digitized the entire Voynich manuscript, put it online for anyone to study.
So anyone listening could be the one to crack this thing wide open. Talk about pressure. Okay, so let's dig into some of the big theories about what this book actually is. Top contender, it's a cipher. Like some next level code.
Which, throughout history, ciphers have been used for all sorts of reasons. Military secrets, obviously. Secret societies, gotta keep those rituals under wraps. Even just like love letters people didn't want their parents reading.
Ancient sexting scandals. I like it. But, I mean, if the Voynich is a cipher, this person went all out. Like, what were they trying to hide? The meaning of life? The recipe for Coca-Cola?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? What could be so important it needed to be locked away this tightly? Assuming it is a cipher, of course, because there are other theories.
Right. Like, what if it's not a code at all? What if it's, like, magical? The alchemist theory always throws me for a loop. Alchemy. Always a crowd pleaser. And to be fair, there are some pretty compelling arguments for this one. You gotta remember, alchemy wasn't just about turning lead into gold.
Though I wouldn't say no to a little lead to gold action, gotta be honest.
Right. But for alchemists, it was deeper than that. They believed they could unlock hidden knowledge about, well, everything. The universe, the human soul, all through experiments and rituals.
So the Voynich manuscript, according to this theory, would be like, what, their secret playbook?
Something like that. A guide to understanding their system, written in a way only other initiates could decipher.
Okay, so we've got secret codes, magical formulas, but we got to talk about the elephant in the room. What if it's all a big fat hoax?
The hoax theory. Always a fun one. It's tempting to dismiss it, right? But hold on, what if someone, somewhere, was like, I'm gonna make the most elaborate, confusing document ever just to mess with people centuries from now.
That's a special kind of dedication to chaos right there. But I mean, it's possible, right? People do weird stuff.
We do, we really do. And think about the psychology of it, the desire to leave your mark, to create something that baffles and mystifies. It's not that far-fetched.
True. Okay, so we've got code breakers, alchemists, and now pranksters from beyond the grave. But why does any of this matter? Why are we, in 2024, still so obsessed with this thing?
Because it represents the ultimate puzzle, and humans, we are hardwired to solve puzzles. Plus, there's that tantalizing possibility, however small, that this book contains something incredible. Lost knowledge, a different understanding of the world.
The allure of the unknown. Never underestimate the power of a good mystery, right?
Absolutely. And I think even if we never fully crack the Voynich code, even if it's a hoax, the journey itself, the exploration, the debate, That's what makes it so fascinating.
Forcing us to confront the limits of what we know, what we can know.
Exactly. And that, my friend, is a very powerful thing.
It really is. So for our listeners, if you're feeling up to the challenge, remember, the entire Voynich manuscript is online. Go take a look, see what you make of it. Maybe one of you will be the one to finally crack the code.